for coming out, for all your students to be performing tonight. I'm so glad that you're here. A couple of years ago was my first year here at McDonogh, and some of you remember that we had a snow day on the day of the concert, so I feel like this weather also is not appropriate for the winter concert. Nevertheless, it is our winter concert. We've been working hard since September on all of this music for you. So I would like to invite up Will Sternberg and Zach Snyder to introduce our first piece.
The first piece on our concert tonight is called Trumpet Hero. This piece features our trumpet section with a heralding melody and groovy bass beat underneath it. As trumpet players, we have been working on building up our range, which means we are practicing playing higher and higher notes. We have also been working on reading rhythms this term, and this piece was a good review.
One thing that makes a band unique from other musical ensembles is the amount of instruments playing together in each piece. As we practice our parts, we have to listen to the other people playing the same part as us so that we stay together, and we also have to listen to the other parts to hear how everything fits together. It takes a lot of work. Here is Trumpet Hero.
I'd like to invite up Hugh Brown and Niles Riding to introduce our next piece.
Our next piece is a matchup of Jingle Bells and the Dreidel Song. In this piece, you will hear some instrumental play the melody, others play the harmony, and still others play the accompaniment to the song. We practice playing softer when our section doesn't have the melody, so everyone can hear the melody, the main part of the song.
We also worked on learning how to feel the song and get into its groove. You can feel the groove in the first half of the song, through the low brass and woodwinds during Jingle Bells, where it has a Latin feel. During the second half, you can feel the groove through the brass sections and the pop feeling. These grooves are part of the accompaniment and help us lock in and play together. Here is Jingle Bells.
Up next, we will show a video about how playing an instrument impacts our brain. With all the work that we are doing up here on the stage, our brains are doing most of it by concentrating on doing so many things correctly all at once. This performance is the equivalent of a championship game, and we only get one chance to do it right, and as close to perfect as we can get. Even as we work so hard tonight to perform for you, we know that the skills we are learning will help us in many other areas of our lives as well.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain? On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, They saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into unified musical experience. And our brains do all this work in the split second between when we first hear the music and when our foot starts to tap along. But when scientists turn from observing the brains of music listeners to those of musicians, the little backyard fireworks became a jubilee. It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full-body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences. But what is it about making music that sets the brain alight? The research is still fairly new, but neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices. And as with any other workout, disciplined, structured practice in playing music strengthens those brain functions, allowing us to apply that strength to other activities. The most obvious difference between listening to music and playing it is that the latter requires fine motor skills, which are controlled in both hemispheres of the brain. It also combines the linguistic and mathematical precision in which the left hemisphere is more involved, with the novel and creative content that the right excels in. For these reasons, playing music has been found to increase the volume and activity in the brain's corpus callosum, the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing messages to get across the brain faster and through more diverse routes. This may allow musicians to solve problems more effectively and creatively in both academic and social settings. Because making music also involves crafting and understanding its emotional content and message, musicians often have higher levels of executive function, a category of interlinked tasks that includes planning, strategizing, and attention to detail, and requires simultaneous analysis of both cognitive and emotional aspects. This ability also has an impact on how our memory systems work. And indeed, musicians exhibit enhanced memory functions, creating, storing, and retrieving memories more quickly and efficiently. Studies have found that musicians appear to use their highly connected brains to give each memory multiple tags, such as a conceptual tag, an emotional tag, an audio tag, and a contextual tag, like a good internet search engine. So how do we know that all these benefits are unique to music, as opposed to, say, sports or painting? Or could it be that people who go into music were already smarter to begin with? Neuroscientists have explored these issues, but so far they have found that the artistic and aesthetic aspects of learning to play a musical instrument are different from any other activity studied, including other arts. And several randomized studies of participants who showed the same levels of cognitive function and neural processing at the start found that those who were exposed to a period of music learning showed enhancement in multiple brain areas compared to the others. This recent research about the mental benefits of playing music has advanced our understanding of mental function, revealing the inner rhythms and complex interplay that make up the amazing orchestra of our brain.
I know that it may seem a little bit weird to watch a video at your kid's band concert, but I wanted you to know what's happening in your child's head, in their brain, because they're here on the stage, because they're playing. Because of the support that you give them, they're learning so many things. They're learning things about music, they're learning things about the world. They're learning how to work together in a way where you have to listen, and that's one of the primary aspects of it, as opposed to running around. And as opposed to sitting in a classroom and having a discussion. So there's so many great things about being in band. But also, I saw this video and I showed it to a bunch of the kids at the beginning of the year, and I wanted to make sure that you knew what it was that your students were doing and how they're growing and all of those things, because they're a part of band. So thank you for all of your support and encouragement for having your child be in band this year. I also wanted to comment on all of the homework videos that I've been getting, all the multiple hundreds of them throughout the term, and thank you for being there and for participating. I often hear your voice say, go. So I know that you're there, and I know that you're a part of that, and it's really important to be a part of your child's education, as you know. But it's really important to be a part of your child's music education and to participate in it. And maybe you don't play an instrument, or you did when you were in high school, and now it's a little bit like Greek to you. But you're still participating and you're still involved, and that's really important for your child. So thank you for all of your help with the videos, and for those of you who have helped with all of the technology aspects to that, thank you as well. For those of you who may be challenged technically a little bit, I apologize. But thank you for doing that. At this time, while the 7th and 8th graders come up, I would like to invite Surya to introduce the first piece that they're playing. It looks like he's sort of stuck in backlog. So while he does that, I wanted to say thank you to the administration for all of the support, and specifically to Don New, Mike Feathers, and Andrew Shaw, who are my colleagues in the instrumental music department, because we work really hard together, and their support and collaboration is really important to the success of your children. So thank you to them, thank you to Darren and to Jennifer, because they work tirelessly also for the success of your child in all aspects, but they're very supportive of the music program. So thank you to them. Here is Surya.
The soundtracks to Star Wars was composed by John Williams, a very famous movie composer. He has other famous compositions such as Indiana Jones, Jaws, Jurassic Park. We will be performing a medley from the second original film, The Empire Strikes Back. This piece was challenging for us to learn because it contains a lot of accidentals, sharps, and flat notes that are outside of the key signature. It goes really high and was challenging to us to stretch our range, which uses the muscles interfaces to adjust our embouchure to mount positions. We don't usually use those muscles like this, so it takes a bit of time to get the notes right. Here's The Empire Strikes Back.
introduction.
Peter Tchaikovsky is a very famous Russian composer from the late 1800s, and he wrote the music to the ballet, The Nutcracker Suite. This ballet is based on a Russian folktale about a little girl at Christmas time and has many short movements in it. The piece that we will perform for you includes a few of these movements and ends with Russian dance tripat. We worked on our articulations for this piece, including accents, which are emphasized notes, and slurs, which are connected notes. We also practiced playing an accelerando, which means to gradually get faster, and it is an important part to the last movement of our piece. Here is Nutcracker Suite Petite.
Invite Sebastian to come up and introduce our next song.
Today is the 5th day of Hanukkah, and we will celebrate it tonight by performing Hanukkah Dance for You, which is based on the song Savivin about dreidels. This piece has a dramatic beginning and builds up intensity throughout the song by beginning the melody with the flutes, clarinets, and oboe, and slowly adding the remaining instrument sections one by one. We hope you enjoy Hanukkah Dance.
invite the sixth graders to come on up to your music stands. Make sure you raise them up to be taller than they are at the moment. A couple of things while they're coming on stage. The first is I forgot to put in the program that Charlotte Caceres, an 8th grader, will be conducting the last 3 songs that we're doing. These are pep songs that we worked on for the pep rally, and I didn't put that in the program, so I want to make sure that I made note of that. And I wanted to make sure that I let you know that it is quite a pleasure to work here at McDonogh, and it is so enjoyable to work with your students. I was commenting today to Mr. New about how fun it is to work with them. They're really great kids. They work hard. They're involved in so many things, as you know, because you're the ones driving them around and signing them up for everything. And for the effort and the work that they put in for this band concert, I'm really grateful because it's really fun to do something and to work hard for it and do it well. I was working with the 6th grade at the end of the day today, and we were having a little bit of trouble with one of our pieces. And I said, guys, I don't know. And they were like, no, we can do it. And they rallied together and they work together, because what they can do, what they can create in the moment is something really special and unique for each of us to experience. And it's something that's different than perhaps what we're so used to, because we live in a digital age. So we can hang on to things forever and never get rid of them. I don't even delete emails anymore, I just hit archive, and they're always there. And what we're creating here is temporal, and it's just in the moment, and so we can only experience it when we're here right now. And they pulled together to do that. I was particularly proud of this group as we worked for the pep rally and for all of the music, because it was the largest audience that we'd ever played in front of, the entire school and all of the teachers and everyone. And so they did a great job with that. So thank you for being a part of this community and allowing me to be a part of your kids' lives. Here is Mara Beatty to introduce our next piece.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th graders started out this term by learning pep band music to play at the pep rally in the beginning of November. This music was really fun to learn and perform for the entire school before the 100th McDonogh Gilman football game. If you're a Ravens fan, our first piece should be very familiar to you. Here's Seven Nation Army.
No sporting event is quite the same without Queen's hit, "We Will Rock You." The advanced band learned the melody to the verses, and we would join in for the chorus. The verses were challenging to learn because they were so fast, as well as having complex, sympathetic rhythms. Please enjoy We Will Rock You.
Our last piece. Afterwards, we have a reception, which one of you so generously donated to, but please stay after and enjoy a few treats, talk to each other, and make sure you find a couple kids who aren't your own and tell them what you liked about the concert. Here's Avinash introducing our last piece.
Our last piece for the evening is Let's Go Band. We will need a little bit of help cheering for McDonogh in this song. There is a place for you to yell MCD, but before we get into it, we need to practice. I'm going to say MCD, and I need you to yell it back to me. Ready? MCD! MCD! Excellent. I think you got it. Let us all join in celebrating our school spirit, showing our orange and black through this last piece. Let's go band!
Picture. So we're just hang on a second. 6th graders, you can go put your instruments away.